I wanted to talk about procrastination and the change process. Y'all know I write a lot about procrastination interspersed with psychic weird stuff, but I was talking to my Train Your Body to Wealth people today. I run a money program every now and then that's 30 to 40 days of live things, meditations presented in order to change the structures that we hold about wealth. And it reminded me that when things are changing is when we're most likely to procrastinate. We know that procrastination it's really simple, but it's also complex. Like, yes, it's resistance. Yes, it's normal. It can have to do with a lot of things. But when we boil it all down, it's our system has detected a change. When your nervous system detects a change, positive, negative, or otherwise, it's going to try to shut it down. You have a baseline, your everyday state, and you have what I call your familiar bad feeling place, which is the grumpy place that you slide into. Anytime things get stressful, and often that will happen when things get good. Like things start getting good, and we whip out our dream smashing hammer so that we can go back to our familiar bad feeling place. It's a horrible place. It's a terrible existence, but it's our horrible place, and we are very comfortable living there. So when you do something different, when you say, you know what, I'm closing the doors to pity party land forever and ever, your system is like, what? Wait a minute. You're changing something, and we're not on board with that. So a change can be positive intended, or it can be negative intended. Something can go wrong in your life that you need to address. It doesn't matter. What matters is you're doing something different. You're knocking on the door of change. You're looking at your identity and noticing that more than half of your identity is created from conditioning you got from other people. And at that point, you don't even know who you are. So, whenever you start a program, I was a trauma and addictions therapist. And so I ran a lot of groups. And I know from experience, and that this is well researched. I think Seth Godin has a book on it called The Dip. Around, and this is also true in addictive cycles, because there's danger at about a third of the way in. And then there's a big danger zone at halfway. So today I was leaving a message for my Train Your Body to Wealth group that's at the halfway point ish. We're a couple of days from halfway. But around halfway is about when your nervous system clues in that you're changing something. It detects something different, and different equals deadly to your nervous system without fail. If it's different, it's deadly, period. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad, it's just different. This is why when you go start a coaching program, or you start to learn something, or you start an exercise program that's a 30-day sprint, or you're, okay, I'm going to do this for 6 months or a year, around halfway is a high danger zone for quitting. A very high danger zone for quitting any new thing is around 3 days. That's why the first 3 days of January, the gym is crammed full of people, and then it just goes back to normal. And then around June, it really drops off. So a third of the way, halfway, and then 2/3 of the way are the points that you can literally write a reminder for yourself on the calendar that you're likely going to want to quit. You're going to forget to do the thing. You're going to forget to take the steps. You're going to go to bed at 10 o'clock or midnight and think, oh no, I didn't do the thing. And we just go to sleep, and then it's a downhill slide from there. But if it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and you're in bed and you go, oh no, I didn't do the thing. If you get back up and do the thing, for example, my money group has to listen to a meditation. A phone? Why am I doing that? We don't even have, do we have phones? Cell phones can't really be called phones, can they? our tiny computer. But all you have to do is listen to a thing and then celebrate a thing. Both are on WhatsApp. So if it's 11 o'clock and they're falling asleep and realize they didn't do it, they literally just have to turn it on and do it. If it's going to the gym, you might not be able to resolve the problem at 11 at night. And I don't recommend, if you're half asleep, getting up and doing that. But if you catch yourself as you're quitting, and do it without judgment, just practice compassionate curiosity about, why did I forget? Why am I resisting putting this on my calendar as a daily appointment with myself? What is it I'm afraid of? I'm afraid, my nervous system is afraid, and now I'm forgetting, and now I don't want to, now I'm procrastinating, now I'm grumpy and complaining that I even signed up for a program. That's all good news. Those are all indicators that you've done something different enough that you've triggered your interior defenses against change. So we're designed to never, never change, and which is terribly ironic when we are always changing. So when you get the fuck it's or you want to quit, that's good news. Let's celebrate that. You're changing, and your body and your system and everything is reacting to that. You don't need to quit. You don't need to toss it and join a new program. And you definitely don't need to beat yourself up. You need to go, hallelujah, Jesus, I've done this enough and now I'm changing. So how can I keep going? All right, it's 11 o'clock. I didn't go to the gym like I said I was going to. First thing in the morning, I'm going to change that. I'm going to get it on the calendar. I'm going to, put whatever systems in place that you need to, without judgment. If you're beating yourself up about it or feeling like a lazy slug about it, then you're definitely not going to make it through the program. And if you just go, oh, yay, I'm changing. I want that change. I still want it. That's why I signed up for whatever it is. So this is good news. Now I'm going to be remotivated. So you can use that dip, that tendency to want to quit, because your body's not being malicious. It's not like, oh no, I hate the word self-sabotage. It's just trying to keep you static and the same, because at the heart of it, we don't want to change. So use the opportunity of wanting to quit as energy to remotivate yourself, to comfort yourself if needed, to go, yeah, I know change is scary. Yes, I've always been a person who fill in the blank, and now I want to be a person who fill in the blank. And that midpoint, that halfway point, is so powerful. So it's a danger point, and it's also the most powerful point, because if you use it to remotivate yourself and keep going without judgment, with compassionate curiosity, sorry, then you are so much more powerful than you were prior to that. If you think of you sign up for something because you have a current structure built. You have scaffolding, things that you stand on and you move on that form your identity. So when you start something, you could think of this. I told my group this morning, think of it as energetic termites that have been nibbling away at the posts that hold that scaffolding in place. And now it's started to collapse. And the collapsing is the danger point. And the collapsing is the power point, the empowerment point. It's a magical zone where you get to be conscious that you're changing. This is normal. This is natural. And now I'm going to be remotivated and I'm going to keep going. You don't have to build the new scaffolding yourself. You don't have to think, okay, well, I'm breaking this down. What am I putting in its place? You're putting it in its place naturally, whatever it is you're pursuing, whether it's a gym or trying to break your money threshold or try to close the doors to your familiar bad feeling place forever and ever, any change that you've introduced. The new scaffolding, the new thing will naturally rebuild. It will start rebuilding once you say, I'm not going to quit this time. I'm not going to let the siren song of my familiar bad feeling place tempt me into coming back into pity party land, I'm going to keep going. I love myself enough. I'm devoted to myself enough. If you can't say I love myself, say you respect yourself enough to continue going. And then before you know it, that new identity will start rising from the ashes of what you just destroyed in a good way. So I wanted to just share that as a reminder that you're not going to want to do the thing. You make it 2 weeks into a new way of living, and you're gonna hit a point where you hate it, and you think it's stupid, and you'll tell yourself it's not working, or the coach or the therapist is an idiot, and you're not gonna go back. And that's all normal, and let's recognize it as normal, and let's stay in our sovereign storyteller self and go, okay, I'm going to tell a new story. And that means I'm going to keep going. If it really is a bad program, just make the best of it. Take whatever good you can find. Just don't let yourself quit, because once you quit, you have to start all over again. So hopefully this is helpful to you. Just reminders, right? Just keep going. All right. If you have questions, let me know. Happy to answer them in a private message or in a comment. I actually haven't done a live in forever and a day, so I don't know if you can put comments. But if you have questions about how this works, let me know. I'm happy to send you some resources. Okay. Bye for now.